The small Nebraska town appeared unchanged, a tableau of rural stillness that seemed frozen in time. Jake Miller stood at the edge of his family's property, a world-renowned surfer who felt like a stranger in his own homeland. 6 years had transformed him completely. Gone was the lean farm boy, replaced by a man sculpted by ocean and ambition. His skin was bronzed from countless hours under tropical suns, his body a testament to years of surfing, muscular, agile, with the quiet confidence of someone who had conquered more than just waves. The Miller farm looked both familiar and alien. The white wooden farmhouse, once his entire universe, now seemed smaller, more fragile. Paint was slightly more weathered, the fence lines less pristine. But the essence remained, a monument to generations of hard work and quiet resilience. As his rental car approached, memories crashed over him like the very waves he'd spent years mastering. Each mile of the familiar road brought a tidal wave of emotions: nostalgia, apprehension, a complex mixture of love and unresolved tension. Sarah Rodriguez was already waiting, her journalistic instincts perfectly balanced with genuine friendship. She had been instrumental in orchestrating this moment, helping Jake navigate the delicate reunion, understanding the intricate emotional landscape he was about to traverse. "Are you ready?" she asked, her hand touching his briefly, a gesture of support that transcended words. Jake's world-famous surfing documentary had changed everything. The film, which had premiered just months earlier, had not just made him a global icon, but had transformed the narrative of his life. From a farm boy who disappeared to a surfing legend who conquered some of the most challenging waves on the planet. The documentary revealed everything: his humble origins, the dream that seemed impossible, the 6-year journey of transformation that had turned him from an unknown to a global sports phenomenon. Millions had watched his story, but for Jake, this moment was intensely personal. Thomas Miller was working in the barn when Jake arrived. The older man looked smaller now, his shoulders slightly more hunched, his movements slower. But his eyes, those piercing blue eyes that had once judged and controlled, now held something different: uncertainty, hope, a vulnerability Jake had never seen before. Their first moments were awkward, charged with years of unspoken emotions. "You're home," Thomas said, not as a statement, but almost like a question. Jake nodded. "I'm home." Elizabeth Miller emerged from the farmhouse, and the moment shifted. Mothers have an intuitive understanding that transcends logic, and her response was pure emotion. She rushed forward, tears streaming down her face, embracing her son with a force that seemed to collapse 6 years of separation into a single, healing moment. "My boy," she whispered, "my brave, incredible boy." The farmhouse interior was a museum of memories. Photographs chronicled Jake's life, from childhood images of him working the fields to a prominently displayed magazine cover showing him riding a monstrous wave in Hawaii. Sarah, acting as both friend and journalist, began documenting the reunion. Her camera captured the raw, unscripted moments: Thomas's initial awkwardness, Elizabeth's overwhelming emotion, Jake's own complex mix of emotions. They sat around the kitchen table, the same table where Jake had once discussed his dreams, where his departure had seemed like an impossible rebellion. Now he shared stories of his journey, tales of surfing in Indonesia, challenging waves in Australia, competing in championships across the globe. Each story was more than just a narrative of athletic achievement. It was a testament to transformation, to the power of pursuing an impossible dream. Thomas listened, his initial resistance slowly melting. A father's pride is a complicated emotion, and Jake could see it emerging, tentative, but genuine. "I never understood," Thomas admitted during a quiet moment. "But watching your documentary, I realized you were doing exactly what our ancestors did. Exploring, challenging boundaries." The farm, which had once seemed like a constraint, was now revealed as the very foundation of Jake's success. The discipline learned from agricultural life, the understanding of natural rhythms, the patience, all of these had been crucial in becoming a world-class surfer. As evening approached, Jake walked the fields. The wheat moved in the wind, almost like ocean waves, a connection he now understood profoundly. This land had not been a prison but a training ground. Sarah captured a photograph that would become iconic. Jake standing in the wheat field, surfboard beside him, the farmhouse in the background. A visual representation of two worlds harmoniously coexisting. The reunion was more than a personal moment. It became a narrative of American possibility, of dreams that stretch beyond geographical and social boundaries. A farm boy who became a global icon, without losing connection to his roots. As night fell, the Miller family sat together. Reunited, transformed, understanding each other in ways they never had before. Jake's journey was far from over, but he had come home, not as a prodigal son, but as a man who had proven that dreams have no limitations. The wheat fields whispered their agreement, moving gently under the starlit Nebraska sky.